Okay. Namaste, great souls. Let's take a breath and just immediately drop into the breath, but also the body, because the breath carries life force energy, which in yoga is called prana. And prana, the flow of prana is happening throughout our body all the time, and we could very easily tune into it. So we were talking last week after class, some of us, Eckhart Tolle and many, many others call it chi, this vital life force energy, Tai Chi, right? We're feeling the chi in the body. And he used the expression, the chi is halfway between form in our body and formless. So you could take that in and let that digest for you. But you could also just feel it most likely as you breathe in and breathe out, this energy, this chi that's in your body and outside your body. So it's a vibratory energy and it's pure energy. You could tune into that chi ball with your hands, or you could just feel it moving as you throughout the cells, in between the cells. And it's beautiful to keep tuning into the chi as much as we can, train our brain to remember that. Now, what gets in the way of feeling our chi most clearly is our thoughts and our feelings. Positive thoughts, no problem. We love those. Those we could savor and even expand on those, and those will bring a greater sense of well-being. But we can use our breath like spiritual first aid, if you will, that if we have, which we do, we cycle through lots of thoughts and feelings throughout a day. But if we have some low-grade anxiety or fears or doubts or insecurity, or you name it, tune in. Maybe that's not going on for you now, but you could imagine it. I'm just going to draw on the technique we worked on last time, and this is from Paramahansa Yogananda's teaching, is to first just breathe into it, notice whatever this and call it, name it. I'm going to use insecurity. Okay. Say some insecurities coming up. Of course, talk to a friend, get help with it if it's serious, but if it's, just moving through a lighter kind of vibration, what we can do to help release it is first to exacerbate it, exaggerate it, feel that feeling, and I'll guide us through here very shortly. Double breath, short, long, inhale, tense, and then feel it in the lungs, like you're breathing it into the lungs. This is counterintuitive, the insecurity. The most important part as we double breath, we're exhaling and we're dispelling it, and we're dispersing it. We're releasing it and dispersing it out of our system. So first we exaggerate it and then we release it. Okay, so I'm going to back it up a little bit. And we're going to apply our spiritual first aid, that the prana energy in the body. Use the breath. The breath carries the prana, carries the life force energy. So just take one round of regular breathing. And if you're not going through something a little edgy, just imagine what that would be. I'm going to invite in the feeling of insecurity. We're going to take a short, long inhale and tense the entire body. Inhale, short, long. Make a fist with your hands, scrunch up the face, feel the energy vibrating, feel that feeling in your lungs, breathe it in, and then most important, breathe it out, double breath. Now use your arms like that. Let it release away from you. This is really nice to do outdoors in nature, but wherever you can. Let's do that again. Double breath, inhale, short then long. Actually exacerbate the insecurity, charge it up, feel it like a magnet in your lungs. When you're ready to exhale, very consciously release, short and long, dispel. Letting go. You could do this 3 to 5 times. I'm just doing it twice to give you a sense of that. Taking an inhale and an exhale, returning back to that life force energy, back to the chi, back to form and form, halfway between form and formless. And knowing we can apply spiritual first aid to ourselves, we can release it. If it's low, medium grade, again, if it's higher, we'll need more assistance. They're more of a process. I don't want to bypass things, but sometimes it's nice to definitely dispel and release those. And then we're going to come onto our backs and move into our yoga practice, keeping this chi awareness in mind. So we'll ripple on down. Go ahead and release the low back, the mid back, the upper back. Press for back, release, arms reach up, and just starting to hug those knees into the shoulders, rocking side to side. We know rocking is very nourishing for the nervous system. So many ways we can work with our nervous system, not have it run us, but we can work with it. And then we'll take it into happy baby, reaching the feet up. If you can, reach the inner arches. And again, opening the low back, the hips, the entire back. With that, either stable, see if your body's stable now, breathing in, breathing out. You can use that exhale through the mouth as a release breath. If you're wanting to dispel some tension, physical, psychological energy, you can rock and extend. And you get a sense of what is happening, especially in your back, in the back body. And feel the support of the earth underneath you. Support of the practice. Inner borders of the feet together, hands on the knees, circle the knees towards your chest, and then away. Hear the sound of the breath. Notice and then go the other direction. If there's an intention you'd like to bring to your practice today. The intention of the theme is feeling the chi. Planting the left foot down, figure 4. Draw that right knee in, flex and extend through the toes and the heel. Make sure the shoulders aren't drawing up unnecessarily toward the ears. And figure 4. So we're flexing through this foot. We're drawing the right knee away from you. In that triangle of space, we're going to reach through and use our right elbow to open up the hip. And breathe. Now, feel free to stay here. If you're wanting more of a hamstring stretch through that left side, you can either use a strap or grab onto the toe if possible, but you're still opening the hip and releasing the back. Exhale, like you're blowing out a candle. You know to lengthen the exhale. Tune into the inhale, tune into the breath, which will help us tune into the prana, the life energy. And we can consciously direct the breath that will have an effect on our prana, our chi, our life energy. The life energy is free and whole. It's again our thoughts and emotions that could swirl it up a bit. Emotion, energy, emotion. Accentuating the exhalation will help the relaxation. Very good. Releasing, slowly bending the left knee. Let's just draw that right knee down toward the floor. It may or may not touch. To open up the hips further, low back. And then extend the right leg and bend the right knee. Plant that foot down. Before we go the other side, figure four. This is excellent for low back release, the arcing curl. Feet no wider than hip width apart. Hands on the belly. Inhale, arc the spine, sacrum into the earth, lumbar off the floor. Exhale, flatten. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, arcing. Belly expands. The chin naturally lifts. You don't have to think about it. Exhale. Release. Navel to the spine. Let's do 4 total. That would be 2 more. Inhale, arcing. See how this feels on your lumbar, especially your low back. Exhale at your rhythm and pace. Feel the corners of the abdomen coming toward the navel. Inhale, arcing. Exhale, flattening. Right. Now we're going to go to the left side, of course. Holding the left knee in, point and flex. Shoulders away from the ears. Starting out gradually. Figure 4. Flexing through the foot. Drawing the left knee away. And that triangle of space, we're threading the left arm through, using your elbow as a wedge. If that works for you anatomically, it may or may not. But either way, you're getting that hip opening. So we're drawing that right knee in to where it feels like you're getting the greatest stretch where you can sustain it and breathe. And feel the chi, feel the energy that you are, the life force that you are. If you want to extend more through the hamstring, get the hamstring opening, use a strap around the ball of the foot. Grab the toe. And that 5-minute clip of Eckhart Tolle, he was saying to tune in if you wake up anytime to the chi, but especially in the middle of the night, where it could be kind of restless in the mind, that you just tune into the chi. You just turn into the life energy. And you might feel some gratitude there, just to feel that quality of life force flowing through your body. Healing energy flowing through your body. It's here all the time. Overthinking mind, we won't feel it, but we could tune in. We could tune in and make it a practice to feel the chi. Exhale and inhale. See if you want to exhale through the mouth or through the nostrils. That might have naturally changed for you. Okay, if it's time to release that strap. If you were going into that hamstring stretch, bend the left knee and draw that left knee, just kind of rocking side to side, opening that left hip and simultaneously releasing the back. All right, let's take a moment and butterfly, if this is okay for your hips and back. We won't be here terribly long, but I want to draw the tops of the thighs toward the knees. Open up the hips as much as possible, or use some blocks here underneath your outer thighs. And take a full couple rounds of full yogic breath. So first exhale out. Just follow your rhythm, follow your pace. Belly expands, heart expands, crown opens to the sun, the moon, the stars. And the exhale, crown, heart, belly, feet. Savoring the full yogic breath, savoring the breath that links us to the prana, and the life force energy. Notice if you just want to have an even breath or just let the breath naturally arise and fall and flow with it. And then a little differently than I teach, which I like to add in a little difference. We're going to have the feet not touching one another. And if you do have your blanket, we're going to go into a bridge butterfly series, which means the edge of, well, I'll have to come out of the pose to get the blanket. You may have to do so too. You know that we want the edge of the blanket, our head, over the edge of the blanket. Okay, to protect the neck. Okay, so our feet are a little bit, they're not touching each other. The arms are by our side like a bridge pose. So what we're going to do is we're going to press, if this works for your body, we're going to press into the little toe side of the feet and do a lift up. Bring the knees up a little bit. Okay, so you feel your entire central channel of the spine touching up first. And then we lift up, start shifting the weight to the shoulders, back of the head, and we'll use the affirmation for bridge pose as we slowly, so here we're in butterfly, and then we're slowly bringing, I need to walk my feet a little bit wider apart to bring ourselves up into the bridge. Every thought is a bridge to divine grace, to divine divinity within me. Every thought can bring us back to our divinity versus take us away. Inner thighs magnetizing toward one another. If you can, go back to the butterfly. So there's some ease here, but still some strength. We're not coming all the way down. We're going to the mid back. Okay, this is going to strengthen your back, by the way. Hopefully this is working for your back. If not, do classic bridge. And then one more time. Drawing the knees in, inner thighs like a magnet, feet about hip width apart. Lifting up this time, you may want to interlock. That works. If it's too much on your back to go into that higher bridge, you go about midway. So for everybody, this could be strengthening or it could be too much. So you sense and feel. But either way, you're affirming every thought. It's a bridge to my divine nature, that chi, life force energy, already whole, already free. I have to consciously put more weight on the inner borders of the feet. It's rolling to the little toe side because of that butterfly. But this time we come down, rippling down. Again, tune in. Know this is strengthening your back, but it can also be a little too much. So take a half bridge if that's the case. And let's fold the knees in first before we go back to the butterfly. Circle around again. And if it works for your body, yeah, do butterfly. Full yogic breathing. Hand on the belly, hand on the heart. Inhale, belly, chest, crown, beyond the crown expands, life force, prana energy. Exhale, crown, heart, belly, feet. Do a couple more rounds. Conscious, full yogic breathing. And we don't want to stay in this with low back issues. We just kind of want to taste it. We want to magnetize the inner thighs toward one another. Feet go wider than hip width apart. Plug in the spine. So we're releasing these, arcing and releasing, very helpful for the lumbar. And then just a little windshield wiper to one side. Knees go to the right. Head turns to the left. Engage the core. Knees come up, go over to the left, the head turns to the right. Tuning into the chi, life force, energy, prana. Inhale. Back to center, flatten the back. Hold those knees in again. Thank you, body. Flex and extend, heel toe. And right upper arm by the ear, just enough to transition to our side. And get ready for variations of cat-cow. All right. So I'm going to take our blanket, or I'm going to take my blanket underneath the knees. And we're going to do some core strengthening and leg strengthening variations in our cat-cow. So pressing into the base of the fingers, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. It's a classic scooping out, inhaling, eye gaze up, and exhale the rounding. So you can either do a deep rounding or a mid variation. But really tune in how your back feels. With the scooping action, inhale, and exhale the rounding. Okay, then come to neutral spine. This is an interesting one. This one's going to be a fire hydrant out to the side. So what we do, we bring that left knee in a little bit. We inhale, we bring our right knee out like a fire hydrant pose, it's called, and then back down, and then we kick up. Okay, strengthening, keep the core active. Rounded spine to release. Exhale. We'll do 2 more cycles. Knee to knee at first, and then out to the side with the fire hydrant, if this is possible for you. And then back down. And then lift up. Keep that foot flexed. Yes. Pull back in. Round spine. Neutral spine, knee to knee. Go side. Right side, fire hydrant. Meant to create some strength. Pick it up. And then here's our release. We turn those right toes under. We go forward and back, and then notice what happens when we bring our right foot over to the side and just stretch a little bit more through the side body. And then back, forward and back. And then let's rest in puppy before we go the other side. Puppy pose. That is keeping the knees underneath the hips, but stretching the arms out in front of you. For most of us, hairline toward the floor. Really hear the sound of the breath. Really feel the chi. Give yourself the gift of listening within. And then, of course, we're going to go to the other side. Walking the hands back. And maybe I'll go this way to make it. We're going to bring the left leg out to the side. And then down. And then kick it up. Keep flexing through the foot, rounding, forehead toward the knee, bottom won't touch. Knee to knee, it's not meant to, out to the side, fire hydrant, back down, and then kick it up. Now flossing the hips and rounding spine. So that release, and then the strength. Kicking out to the side. If it's too much, I forgot to say to the side, just go up. Pick it up. And then here we're round. But then we'll stretch back, turn those left toes under, and pulse back and forth. You could stay here. It's feeling pretty good to me. Or you could bring that foot over, across to the side. Just a little more angle stretch here. Okay, you're staying where you are. I'm turning around. And we're going to take it into our wonderful full body stretch, downward facing dog. So hover off those knees, couple breaths here, and then pour it back, treading out the heels. Blood flow to the brain. You want to ripple, just allow the calm energy. Even though we're strong here, we're exerting a lot of energy, but the mind, hopefully, is calming, more relaxed, calm energy. Radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And then step one foot forward, then the opposite. You come into your forward fold. And if you want to massage the scalp, opening up the prana to the brain, relaxing any unnecessary mental burdens, letting go, lifting the heart up, reaching the arms back, chair pose, sweeping up, and just reach out in front of you. Pulse it a few times. Rising up, inhale, stretch up eventually into our mountain pose. We can add a little circular flow here. And tune into the chi, tune into the prana, rooting down. And bring thumb, index finger together. Union, yoga, individual self, union, communion with that higher self, the life force, the chi, whatever you call that. Open through the crown, open through the heart. Feel that chi flowing within you and outside of you. Form and formless. In positive psychology, we're learning to savor these moments of expansion for 15 seconds, 15 to 30, it's research to really, you look at that sunset or the flower or the tree and we go, but we're going to savor that. We're going to luxuriate there and linger, savor a little bit longer. We'll start the rewiring of the positive routes in the brain versus that negative default or the default mode. Doesn't have to be negative, but we can source wellness. Okay, I'm going to grab a drink and hydrate. And it's not quite a sun salute we're going into, but I love the affirmation of the sun salute. So bringing the hands to the heart. And we're opening to the light. We're using the word chi, life force, energy, prana today. We're opening to the light within and the light around us. We're tapping into our spiritual eye. We're opening to higher consciousness for ourselves and all beings. All beings are opening As we lengthen and grow, large toes turn in, mini arc back. And then we swan dive forward. I'm gonna move my blanket out of the way. So we swan dive forward. Facing our forward bend, relaxing unnecessary mental burden so we can open to that flow. Step your hands back, come into plank. Breathe out strong line of energy. And either knee, chest, chin, chaturanga. Well, let's all start there. Knee, chest, chin, unfurl the legs, extend them and the toes. And before we go into full cobra, for the shoulders, warming up the shoulders, this is a great strengthening for the shoulders. Come onto wider and onto the fingertips, okay? Legs are strong. We're holding that block between the thighs. And we're going to ripple. Let's try it 3 times, meaning as we rise up, inhale, go into a half cobra here, and then ripple down. So we want to start to train our brain as we inhale coming up, opening to meet this day, opening to perhaps feel a sense of well-being today. The chi is already in well-being. Let's get our thoughts connected to that. So I rise up to meet whatever's going to happen today, and I'm going to look for moments of well-being and savor those. Now, if this feels okay, we'll go into the full cobra. We'll bring our hands underneath the shoulders, elbows by our side, and let's extend one leg, right leg first, just to draw their shoulders back to prep, recharging the spine, and then back down. All back bends, cobras and back bend, recharges the spine. Pulse it up on the left leg, and ease down. Now we go into our half or full cobra. Inhale, rising up. Maybe the knees off the ground. Maybe the lion's breath, stick out the tongue. High gaze up. Ready for the wellness of this day. Now we come down onto the knees, or maybe stay where they were. Rounded cat, cow. Inhale, scoop it out. Neutral spine, got it. Hover the knees back to our wonderful prana down dog, full body stretch. Pulsing back and forth. Or stabilizing. Let's take 10 fire breaths. Exhale through the nostrils, navel toward the spine. You can press into the base of the fingers. Begin. Slow it down. Fire breath, cleansing breath. If possible, inner borders of the feet together. Lift that left leg up. And then step the left foot not all the way between the hands. In fact, in front of the left hand. And we're going to turn the left toes to the side. I hope you can see that. Left toes to the side. Also, the little toe side of the back foot. And we're just doing a side lunge plank here. So the toes are facing both feet away from the body. We're lifting up that left arm. About 3 breaths. It's strong. It's meant to be. And then we thread this arm through, and we roll the toes of the right foot or the left foot forward and the right foot, and then we come on top of that right knee. So we're think of it like a side lunge plank. Yes. Opening the hips again. Ooh, and taking rest. If you can use a block, bolster, forearms coming down. Left knee comes out to the side. How does the chi feel now? The chi's always here. We're activating it more strongly in the pose, and then we're resting and feeling at times. So we're here from this position. What I'd like you to do is step it back to our plank again. So maybe walk that left hand in, bring one forearm plank, then the other down, forward and back, and then come all the way down. Sphinx. Let's take rest. Let's rest. Elbows out to the side, resting at the spiritual eye. Give yourself the comfort of the earth and feel the earth is just helping to massage the heart. Any, challenging emotions that we don't want them to become lodged there. We want them to flow through and release. Back of the heart opening. So letting in anxiety, churning thoughts, insecurities, dispel out, release out. Into the hands of peace as we come into our Bhujangasana, our cobra pose. Hands underneath the shoulders, legs strong, rising up. Couple lion breaths, ready to greet this day. Savoring, looking for the wellness, training our brain to open to it. And one rounded cat. Cow variation, cat cow is combined with the scooping action and the rounding. To our neutral spine. Knees hover off. You can do a forearm down dog, or you can do a classic down dog. See, more strengthening of the arms happens in the forearm down dog. This is good to do if any wrist issues flare up. There won't be as much rippling in our forearm down dog. We want to be stable and allow that calm energy to flood the brain. Radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Now, if you're in forearm down dog, we'll need to come into regular down dog where our elbow tips were, and then pour back get into our three-legged dog so that we can lift up the right leg. Ooh, possibly. Bending the right knee. Looking at the space in front of us, but we're not stepping between the hands. We're stepping in front of that right hand, turning the toes out to the side of both feet, and then expanding into a side plank. The tendency is for the hips to hover down. We want to lift up. Yes, recharging the spine. I didn't do it on the other side. If you want to extend that arm, you can, or keep it straight up for a side stretch here. Lots of chi, exhilarating. And then we come down. A little tricky to spin the toes forward, but possible. And walk that foot forward. Use blocks if you like. Rocking side to side. Yeah, hydrating, especially not both hips, but especially the right hip. Then see if you want to take it down. If your body wants to use a bolster, lift the floor closer to you, resting and digesting. So we activate in certain key poses have a very active, strong energy. And this is, we're resting, but it's a deep opening. It's still a deep hip opening, but we're absorbing more. Absorbing and sensing and feeling that chi flow. Chronic life force flow. Okay, and then come back. Ooh. This time, and then go back to plank. What we're going to do is bring our arm over, turn that back toe under, give it some oomph here, maybe step it in a few times so that eventually we come into our forward fold, relaxing any unnecessary mental burdens. If you want to rest your hands at the palms of the elbows, feel free. Equal weight between the heel, ball of the foot, or points of the feet. Open as we let go of tension, we can open to the flow of God's life within us much more clearly. And coming up, bending the knees, moving back, rising up, space all around you, as well as within you, flowing prana. Going back to mountain, rooting down, down deep into the earth, and then feel that support coming back up and through you. Same with sky energy, open through the crown. And so that earth and sky come together in the heart, in the chi ball here. Heart and solar plexus. So if you can feel the chi, the life force energy. Again, it's form and formless. So divine connection now. We've done this before. Feel that divine connection, that chi ball energy. And then we release out all kinds of stuff that we want to dispel. Okay. We come back to our center. Could be another way. We did the double breath and then dispel. This could be another way of dispelling as the energy goes in that cross diagonal release action. Just notice what you're dispelling, fears, doubts, insecurities, etc. There's just some funky mood going on. Hopefully that's shifting with the yoga practice itself. One more time. Release. And this could be done at any time. Okay. This practice here, and the same the double breath. I like to do this one right here between clients, where the energy, and come back to center. Open that light, the spiritual light within you, that awakening of higher consciousness for all beings. Our awakening has an effect on others around us. Saluting the light within, bringing the hands into namaste. Again, another water break here before we go into another flow. Okay, so we haven't done a balance pose yet. Today I like to do not so much a classic yoga asana balance, but this is from the energization exercises of Yogananda. You're plugging in the left foot and you're doing 3 circles. So this right foot is hovering, you're doing a half circle actually. And you're looking at a point in front of you and you're circling around 3 times in one direction. And then you just reverse it 3 times and it's opposite. Yeah. So rooting down, shifting side to side, planting that right foot down. Look at a point in front of you or on the horizon. I'm placing my hands on the hips. You can bring them out to the side. I feel a little more stable here as that left leg makes the half circle. 3 times. And goes the other direction. So we want to do our 3 gratitudes daily, the 3 circles forward and back. Plug it down. Very good. And then from here, we'll have it. Make sure you have a block by your side. This variation. Okay. Coming to the front of the mat. And we're stepping back into our Trikonasana, and then eventually we'll also go, well, we'll do what, half camel, opening up Ustrasana. So fluidity in the shoulders, the heart, the expansion of the heart, strong through the legs, muscles wrapping around the bones, reaching over with that left arm, sliding the hand down. You can have a slight bend of the knee, lightly touch the block. Continue to open the heart, add the mudra, head to tail connected. And the mantra is energy and joy. Fill my body cells, or the affirmation. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. If this can work for your shoulders, go ahead into Utthita, extension. Circle it around. Standing poses are dynamic poses. They're meant to activate the chi. Energize the chi's here, but we're energizing and literally energy and joy, affirming, fill my body cells. Now, when we come down the 3rd time, this right arm comes down, the left knee bends, we spin off that back heel. Just enough to set it up. I'm walking my left foot out to the side for a half camel. Ardha Ustrasana. Placing the block by the ankle, outside ankle. Tailbones drawing down. So feel that activation, that we're going to continue that activation in a back bend. We're going to sweep our right arm up and around. Know that that block is there. You can look for it. You can reach behind towards your thigh. Tailbones drawing down. Perhaps the left arm is coming up. With calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. Could be thy light, or the light. Either way, we're opening to it. Dynamic back bend. And then we come forward. If it's time, you can stay longer. And sweeping for the shoulders. That works for your shoulders. And then this time when we come down, we peel back. So we stretch out the left toes back. The hamstring stretch. Then we also take our time to shift into a pigeon. So I'm going to bring this left knee toward the right side. Drop that left knee down, come off that back right knee. A little wiggle jiggle here. Make this work. And like we did before, squaring the hips, but with our fingertips, we're going to ripple a few times. We're going to rise up. And then ease, not all the way down yet. So a couple rippling, inhale, scooping action. Strengthening the hard shoulders, and then melting, 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 melting down. Use a bolster and a block again. Stacking the hands at the spiritual eye. Soften the shoulders. Coming into the eternal now, into the breath. Tune into the chi energy, the pranic energy in your body. Hear that oceanic sound and just learning to reside here again and again and again. Our natural state we're returning to. And again, our thoughts and our feelings, flowing in and out, but we could return. Because this is our true self here. Releasing the past, releasing the future, resting in the eternal now as we rise up. Inhaling. Whew. Before we go the other side, we're going to come down onto that left cheek and bring the right knee upright, either with the foot in front of the left shin or on the outside of that left thigh. Body loves all the poses, but especially the twist. So that right corner of the abdomen to the left, twisting, maybe hugging that knee in. Right hand like a kickstand behind you. Spine elongates, chin parallel to the floor. Staying here or even twisting with that elbow on the outside. So you can sustain this twist, or there can be a gentle ease forward and back with every inhale, every exhale. Draw the navel to the spine on the exhale, create more space there. More rotation of the internal organs for cleansing. Excellent for many things, especially digestion. And then coming back, finding that right knee in. If possible, see if you could bring knee on top of knee, bringing the feet a little bit wider. Possible for the shoulders, maybe too much, we'll see. Left arm reaches up, bending the elbow. Right arm comes around. You may or may not be able to clasp. You can use that a strap or a towel. Gomukhasana. Shoulder and hip opener. Or do a variation. You'll still get that shoulder opener if I drop this hand. And by the side, you'll still get the shoulder opening. See what works for your body. Okay, releasing out, take a little side stretch there. With that left arm, and then fluidity. Take that in. Learning to rest in the chi. Learning to tune into the chi, the prana field. Okay, let's go and flow to the other side, having your block by you. Transitioning into our forward fold. Shaking the head gently if that's okay. And opening to the life force again and again as the heart lifts. Arms rise up. Come to the side, we'll go right into our Trikonasana, triangle pose. Okay, right toes turn out, left foot in, feel the flow. Expand the heart, feel the strength of the legs as you reach over. You can have the block down, you can have the block up, but don't just jam your weight down. You're still really lightly touching. Add the mudra, thumb, index finger together, head to tail connected. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. If it works for your body to extend into Utthita. So we want to activate joy. Joy and positive psychology. We want to tune in. It's within us in the yoga psychology, but in our minds, we want to activate that joy so we're affirming it. We're looking for it. We're looking for what's here. Energy and joy fill my body cells. And then when we come down this time, and we've all had probably experiences where it's kind of free floating, it just happens, and then other times we activate it, we help it along. So the knee touches down, the right foot is forward, we're placing our block to the side. We're doing our half camel, very expansive. Tailbone draws down, heart lifts. Possibly that left arm reaches up. And we can look over, see where the block is, but then we want to recenter into our Utthita Ustrasana half camel and open to the pose and the affirmation. With calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to the light. And then take that in quietly. So first you say it out loud, and then you say it more softly, and then more inwardly. And when it's time for you to come out of this pose, you reach up, and maybe bring that arm around if you can. This is that pigeon transition, Ekapada Rajakapatanasana. I'm going to angle out a little bit, but you're going to stay square on your mat. So you fold the right knee down, bring that right foot out to the side. Come off of that left knee. Shimmy shake a little bit. And then we're going to ripple just a couple times. Fingertips, you're on your fingertips. You're strengthening the shoulders and the heart as we come up and move down. Do it one more time. I want to tuck and lift and then descend into stacking the hands. If you can remember, placing that other hand on top, resting at the spiritual eye. Really try to melt the space between the scapula. Make any adjustments to help you be in this pose about 5 breaths. Releasing the past, releasing the future, coming in to this chi presence moment, the eternal now. Meditation be on the sound of the breath and the breath as connected to our life force, prana, chi. Time. We rise up and like to remind us when we're in pigeon. At home, we could stay a little bit longer. You might want to even read a book, a couple pages. As you're in pigeon, Love to do this on the beach in the sand. And then we come out by bending this back knee and bringing it either in front of the shin, sit on the blanket here, or on the outside of the thigh. So you decide, it's going to be a different story on this side. Lengthen and grow the spine. Twist from the right corner of the abdomen over to the left. I'm going to hug that knee in, bring my left hand down, and then maybe bring the elbow. You'll know when you do this twist what feels right to you. Chin parallel to the floor. Exhale. You can inhale, ease a little bit back, and exhale again. And just stay in that twist. Twisting out the tension. He's cultivating that positive psychology, looking for the good. It's so easy to focus on the cynicism. Just looking for the good, left and right and all around. Life's harmony is our mind. Left and right and all around. Life's harmony is our mind. As we ease back into our Gomukhasana, we'll first get our knees in alignment and widen through the feet as much as possible. You'll feel that in the outer hips. See how our shoulders want to go with us again. Take that strap, bending the left elbow. My palm is reaching up. And then, and we may or may not, I'm going to demo this on the other side, be able to touch, that's okay. All right. If not, you could do a variation like this. You're still getting the stretch through the shoulder. As you breathe in and breathe out, and turn around again. Sit. Very good. And let's see if it's time for you to come out. If it is, you're stretching to the side. You're extending through that right side. And then you're opening up. And those wings of joy in the scapula. We want them to expand as much as they can. Opening to the joy, opening to the life force, opening to the chi. Taking that in quietly. Tune into the life force energy. Halfway between form and formless. The key will be taking this, tuning in to the chi off the mat. Relatively, to me, easy to feel and hear. It's all about that. And more challenges we go out into our day and all the things that come in, but it's always here. And we could rest in that and know that and tune in. Okay, unravel. And we're gonna, oh yeah, it's time to cool it down here and take a gentle twist and then move into Shavasana. So let's melt onto our backs. Take, like we did earlier, we do most times. Release the low back, mid back, upper back. Press through the feet, let the spine melt into the earth, and then hug those knees in. And with our classic Supta Padangusthasana, left right knee toward the shoulder, the right shoulder, left leg extends. Thank you, body, again, for showing up, for all you can do, planning. The right foot down, swiveling, and lying down twist. Pulsing back and forth. Knee and shoulder, knee and shoulder. If you want to extend that leg, you can, or keep the knee bent. Left toes up, heart open. Sweep that right arm up and over. Again and again, affirm divine life is within me and all around me. Divine life is in me and all around me. Breathing into it, receiving it, affirming it. When we're not feeling it, maybe asking to be open to that divine life. Soften the right knee and adjust onto the spine and just melt into a mini shavasana. We take a couple rounds of breath, full yogic breath before we go to the other side. When you complete your exhale, show the inner borders of the feet together and bend that left knee. Fold the left knee in. And it's helpful to help the back to plant that foot and swivel first to align the spine for the twist. Seated twist or doing the lying down twist. So helpful. Maybe extend the leg, maybe not. Either way, right toes point up, shoulders press down, and sweeping the arm up. Head going along for the ride. Divine life is within me and all around me. Also practice loving kindness, may be filled with loving kindness. And no peace. Do that in your Shavasana. Guide us in our Shavasana, softening the knee and adjusting onto the spine. Folding that left knee in. Sending the left leg down. Melting into the support of the Mother Earth. So sensing what your body would like best for Shavasana. Several people they were being tender to their back. So if that's the case, I would use the chair or a couch and just have that slight elevation, or perhaps legs up the wall, to just let your back really rest, all parts of the back really resting. Find out what works for you. Classic Shavasana, any variations, main thing, just getting comfortable and supported. Really important. Comfort and support. So important to take all the openings, the energy poses, the resting, restorative, and just dive deep into deep restoration. All right. So let's do a gentle tensing double breath and relaxing, then short, long inhale and tense the body. And then exhale, double breath out, release, dispel. Anything that you want to release and dispel. Just have practice. Do it again. Soft, gentle, tense and relax, double breath. No, you could take a certain emotion and let that release and dispel. Double breath, release and dispel. Yogananda healing techniques. And we'll go from the crown down, opening through the light letting pouring through the crown. Softening the eyes, softening the jaw, left and right. Hearing that oceanic sound, most audible in the throat. Relaxing the root of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth and the lips as well. Hear that oceanic sound and dropping into the heart. And just like we did earlier, but maybe lengthen it here. And just imagine from the inside out, your heart receiving a gentle massage. We're releasing the insecurities, the fears, the doubts out. And we're bringing in, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be blessed. May I know peace and ease. And may I be happy. And then you can focus on another person or a group of people or family members together. Friends, may they be filled with loving kindness. May they be blessed. May they know peace and ease. And may they be happy. And this is optional. This is a more difficult phase. If anyone you're struggling with, see if this speaks to you today. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be blessed. May they know peace and ease. May they be happy. And knowing that life force chi is percolating through the cells and in between the cells of your body as we invite the arms to soften more completely, the palms of the hands, the digits of the fingers. Belly, the low back, the hips, especially areas that have been more challenging. Bring some light to those areas. Breathe into them with healing energy and kindness. And they know ease. Feel the body against the earth, melting in to the support, getting heavier and supported. Front body lighter, perhaps. And continue the body scan of that chi flowing through the cheeks, the thighs, the knees, the calves, ankles, left and right, soles of the feet, digits of the toes, and heels. Resting in pure chi, prana awareness, pure awareness. Discovering that part of you that's always at peace and at ease. Just notice if you'd like to stay in Shavasana longer. You're certainly welcome to do that. If it's time for you to gently return to movement, you do so in a way that feels comfortable and comforting to you. Maybe resting on your side. Or if you continue in Shavasana, I know you could send those healing prayers through the Om sound to others in your Shavasana pose. Visualizing, if you're sitting up or if you're lying down, visualizing those you'd like to send healing energy to at the spiritual eye and the heart center. It could be a group of people, it could be a particular pet or person, or an area of the world or the entire world that you'd like to send healing life force energy to. I'm going to rub my hands together to generate heat. Feel free to see what works for you. And we'll chant Om 3 times, 3-syllable Om. From the inhale. Ah. Ah. And bringing the hands together in Namaste, acknowledging that divine life force, chi, prana energy within you, recognizing that divine life force, chi, energy, prana, in everyone and everything. That's where we are one. Namaste. Keep tuning in all kinds of ways throughout the day. And I will stop the recording.